Have you ever wondered how small changes can create a completely different life? How a simple shift in your daily habits can shape who you become in the future? Today, we're going to explore a powerful idea that your life is simply the sum of your habits. Every small choice, every tiny action, they all form the person you are becoming. Welcome to Atomic Habits, a guide to transforming your life, not through massive change, but through subtle improvements, repeated consistently over time. Success doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from thousands of little moments that most people ignore. Think of it like this. If you only improve by 1% each day, it may feel like nothing has changed. But over time, those improvements compound. They grow, they build momentum, and eventually, they lead to results that feel like magic. But it's not magic. It's the power of habits. James Clear, the author, believes that habits are like the atoms of our lives. Tiny pieces, but together, they create something remarkable. And the best part? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that you are healthier, stronger, smarter, more confident, not because you made a huge change, but because you did small things again and again. Atomic Habits teach us that success is a system, not a goal. A goal might tell you where you want to be, but habits determine whether you actually get there. Let's take an example. Two people want to become fit. They both join a gym. They both start strong. But one of them stops after a week because motivation fades. The other keeps showing up, even on days when they don't feel like it, even if they only train for 5 minutes. Over time, who do you think becomes stronger? It's not the one who started perfectly. It's the one who stayed consistent. We often believe that big achievements require massive action, but James Clear tells us the opposite. Real change comes from repeating small actions that align with the person you want to become. Not once, not twice, but every single day. There's a powerful quote in the book. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Think about that for a moment. Goals are important, but they're not enough. Anyone can set a goal, but it's the system, the habits, that guide your everyday behavior. And your behavior is what shapes your identity. This brings us to something crucial. Identity. Who do you believe you are? The real transformation happens when you stop trying to change what you do and start changing who you believe you are. Instead of saying, I want to read more, you say, I am a reader. Instead of saying, I want to be healthy, you say, I am a healthy person. When your actions match the identity you want to build, habits become effortless. They become part of you. Small habits are like seeds. You plant them in your daily routine. At first, you see nothing. Days pass, weeks pass, no results. But beneath the surface, something incredible is happening. The roots are growing. The identity is forming. And then, one day, the results appear. Visible, strong, unstoppable. We love quick results. We want immediate success. But life isn't like that. Success has a delay. Just like ice doesn't melt until it reaches the melting point. You may be improving, step by step, but nothing looks different. Then, suddenly, everything changes at once. And people call it luck or overnight success. They don't see the quiet progress that happened for months or years. They only see the moment when the ice finally melts. So the real question becomes, can you stay patient long enough for the results to show? James Clear introduces a beautiful concept called the plateau of latent potential. It's the space where growth is happening, but you cannot see it yet. A dangerous place because many people quit there. They think nothing is working, but that's exactly where you need to continue, because the breakthrough is closer than it appears. Let's pause here for a moment, reflect. What small habit, if repeated for months, could change your life. Maybe reading 10 pages a day. Maybe walking for 15 minutes. Maybe writing a small reflection before sleep. Maybe drinking water instead of soda. These actions are tiny, but their impact is massive over time. Maybe the change feels too small today. Maybe nobody notices. But habits are not about who you are right now. They are about who you are becoming. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to be. Even if you lose sometimes, even if you fail sometimes, it's okay. Because what matters most is consistency, not perfection. So how do we make good habits easier and bad habits harder? James Clear offers a simple but powerful method. Our environment shapes our behavior. Most people think they lack willpower, but the truth is, you don't rise to your motivation. You fall to the design of your surroundings. If your environment encourages unhealthy choices, those choices become automatic. But if you design your environment for success, success becomes the default. For instance, if you want to read more, place books in visible places, beside your bed, on your desk, near the couch. If you want to stop scrolling endlessly on your phone, put your phone in another room while you work. If you want to exercise more, prepare your workout clothes the night before. By making positive habits obvious and easy, they become natural. And the opposite is true as well. Hide your distractions. Delete the app that wastes your time. Avoid buying snacks you don't want to eat. Put a small barrier between you and the bad habit. Even a few seconds of difficulty can make a big difference. The book explains something called the habit loop. It consists of 4 steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. And if we understand these steps, we can build any habit or break any habit. The cue triggers your brain to start. The craving is the desire for a change of state. The response is the action, and the reward is the feeling that teaches your brain, yes, repeat this again. So if you want a good habit to stick, make the cue visible, make the craving attractive, make the response easy, and make the reward satisfying. Celebrate small wins. Smile when you complete a tiny task. Mark an X on your habit calendar. Let your brain feel proud, because success loves reinforcement. Sometimes motivation alone is not enough. But systems, they always work. Systems keep you moving even when energy is low. Systems protect you from giving up. Instead of trying to do everything in one day, commit to tiny progress and let the results grow quietly. There's a beautiful concept in the book called the 2-minute rule. It means when starting a new habit, make it so easy that it only takes 2 minutes. Want to run? Just put on your running shoes. Want to write a book? Write 1 sentence. Want to meditate? Sit and breathe for 2 minutes. By lowering the barrier to entry, you defeat procrastination. And once you start, you often continue naturally, because showing up is the most important part. A workout doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to happen. A page of reading doesn't need to change your life, but it might change your mindset. Momentum builds from small beginnings. Let's imagine 2 versions of your future. One version continues with the same habits, the same choices, the same routines. 5 years pass. How does that life look? Now imagine a version where you start improving, just a little, every day. 5 years pass again. How different could that life be? The gap is enormous. And it all starts today, with one small decision. Every action you take is a vote for the person you wish to become. This simple truth is a reminder. You are not defined by your past. You are designed by your habits. But what about setbacks? What about those days when you fail? James Clear reminds us, losing one day won't ruin you. Missing once is okay. Missing twice is a warning. The goal is never perfection. The goal is never miss twice. When life pushes you down, just return the next day, gently, calmly, with patience. There is something comforting in this approach. You can always begin again. You can always choose the next right step. Your identity is a story, and you are always allowed to rewrite it. Even great individuals, the ones we admire, didn't change overnight. They became better through small, repeated actions. Champions don't start as champions. They become champions by building habits that others cannot see. The early mornings, the quiet practice, the daily discipline. That's what shapes greatness. Routine is the playground where excellence is built. So what is the life you want to create? Who is the person you want to become? Take a moment to picture them. How do they wake up? How do they speak? How do they treat their body? What do they focus on? What habits have shaped this version of you? Now realize this. You can start being that person today, not by making huge changes, but by choosing one tiny habit that reflects the identity you wish to claim. Drink one extra glass of water. Read one page. Make your bed. Plan your day for 5 minutes. Smile at yourself in the mirror. These are small acts, but they carry great power. Life is not transformed by intensity. It is transformed by consistency. And don't forget to track your habits. When you track progress, even in a simple checklist, your brain feels rewarded. The progress becomes visible, and the motivation grows. Try not to break the chain. When you see the streak growing day after day, you will want to protect it. But if the chain breaks, forgive yourself. Then start again. Every habit you build is like a brick, and every day you place another one. Alone, each brick looks insignificant, but step back, and you will see a wall of strength, a structure of discipline, a foundation for success. And remember, your habits are shaping your future, even when you are not aware of it. Every small decision matters. Every little action counts. The person you are tomorrow is built by the habits you choose today. There will be days when you feel tired, days when progress feels invisible, days when nothing seems to change. But those are the most important days, because continuing on those days is what separates transformation from stagnation. Growth is quiet. Progress is silent, but the results will speak loudly. Take a breath, release the pressure. You don't need to change your whole life tonight. You only need to take one small step, just one, and then another, and then a third. Tiny changes, repeated with love and patience, that's where a better life begins. And now, I want to invite you to imagine the future version of yourself again. The version filled with hope, confidence, strength, happiness. The version who wakes up every morning excited to live. They are waiting for you. And they are only a few small habits away. You deserve growth. You deserve peace. You deserve success. And you are capable of becoming that person. So if this journey speaks to your heart, if you want to continue discovering life-changing lessons from the world's best books, then I gently encourage you to join us. Subscribe to this channel, Books to Success, and allow yourself to be part of a community that grows together, slowly, quietly, and beautifully. One book, one thought, one habit at a time, because your future is not controlled by motivation. It is crafted by the habits you build in silence. So let today be the beginning, a tiny moment, a new direction, a quiet promise to yourself. You are capable of more than you think, stronger than you believe, closer to change than it seems. Thank you for watching, and may your next small habit bring you closer to the life you dream of. Good night, and keep growing.